headphones about how that the volume control, how it fucks with wherever I put it on my body. It is radiation. I've through process of elimination I figured it out. Block radiation, and one of them, believe it or not, is plastic. It's certain types of plastic, like the stuff you use for painter's tarp or to cover over windows and stuff like that. That technically reduces radiation. So what I did is I wrapped a plastic bag around it, and it doesn't bother me anymore. I kid you not.
Radiation never bothered me anyway. Alright. I'm going to go... Looks like it. There are shield screens here too!
Big D, and he goes for only a second. No. Whoa, what the fuck? We're like being swarmed.
Yeah.
Lumpus, pull your weight.
What should I do? I was. But then I was like, I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna stay. I'm different.
Let's stay! No!
Oh, that asshole, he's on top of the ship.
Where's the horror?
Yeah, I'm just gonna retreat. I'll be right back.
You better. Yeah, but I'm by myself. Alright, I am back. Oh no. I was talking about so many things about that one place and that one time. Oh yeah. Sorry, I wasn't there. Lol has returned with a vengeance. Jesus God, no. Now you can play the game again. Never quite figured out what the game was, but it's called Pick Up the Law. Just twiddling my thumbs. Splooge!
back. Oh, we got somebody watching. Hello, sorry about that. I was using the restroom.
That was... That's me.
Oh, well, then hello.
I was trying to do videoception.
Video inception. Let's see. Cough, cough.
Because the number of players has changed, the mission preparation time. Yeah.
Deploying.
That's what the cough cough was for.
I just sent him a friend request. Maybe I'll invite him back.
Multiple shield screens
Possible.
have been deployed. This is the first time so many shield screens have been found at once.
All show the wrath of the wolf.
The shield screens are scattered in the combat area. There should be many generators. Look around. I'm blocked by shield screens and my attacks aren't working. The shield screens do not block the enemy's attacks. Watch out for attacks through shield screens.
Same as underwater. But you can use that to your advantage if you didn't use a whole lot of boost from the building to hop over there, land on it, and then jump to the ship if you don't think you're gonna make it.
I'm surrounded in shield screens and can't move.
I'd back up, Lumpus, you're about to be surrounded. I can see the future.
There are shield screens here too. The attack is
Whoa,
already
left the
stopped.
room.
Right. Victory. That used to be my ringtone for the longest time.
Everywhere I turn, there's a shield screen.
SpongeBob.
Shield screens don't interfere with each other when they overlap? That seems like it should be illegal.
It is.
Only in America.
It's dangerous to be surrounded by multiple shield screens. Take out the generators one at a time.
The only thing I'm gonna look forward to when it comes to the next war that happens is, yeah, I know they're gonna wipe most of us away, but if I can witness America be like, yeah, we got shield technology, and Japan comes out with perfectly perfected fucking versions of it, I just want to witness that. Like, well, that's not, I fully expect Gundams, but I'm talking about Gundams with a barrier. They have an AT field.
I regret nothing! It's my turn.
For what? Surely not proving yourself.
Doing myself a dunderhead?
No. Oop. You. Get pissed off at what?
This is I'm on my
Oh.
using astronomical data. I have confirmed
Yeah, they all message Richard when they get pissed.
I always get messages from fucking people that are solving
thinking about it now. It's
Well, it is my room.
related to the brain.
There's nothing there saying I have to let them be in it.
I have an objection. You have to, please, sir? Sir, man?
Sir, ma'am. Ma'am, sir. Yes, Mr. Sir, ma'am, sir.
You have to be inclusive, guys.
I'll just have the, no. It's Naz6FloW. Naz for short. Cause I don't want to be a woman's period, so I don't want people calling me Flo. What was it when I was sitting there? I was really high when I came up with the name for my music. It was like...
Naz6FloW?
It was Nazi quality...
that help. You didn't need it.
What health?
Did I not need it? I have like 533 health, and you have like 1,000.
I was gonna say, literally, Lowell said he was needing health, and there was nothing missing from his health bar. Like, at all.
Like this?
No, you got something, or like, Richard's got something missing from his health. See? When you point straight down, this gun should just go in every direction.
Instead, it just goes right back in your face.
Kinda does go every direction. Oh, no, cooldown time. I got the few people I pissed off, but they always come back a later time saying sorry, so. Literally, like the one that ran into my shit and then was sitting there taking and, trying to make everybody think I was a team killer and whatnot, when I mean, you could clearly tell, and I'm pretty sure someone else seen what had happened, you know? Freaking, I seen him in another room, and he sat there and said sorry, and designated it towards me. It's like, if you're gonna be... You know, if it wasn't for the fact of having to sacrifice young children and raping women from the ages 7 to 17, I would so become a Satanist, because their biggest sin is stupidity. I
necessarily think that's a requirement.
look it up. No, well, just like it's optional whether or not to truly follow the Bible or not, and, you know, people do and don't, but doesn't mean you're going to get the same effect from it. But no, if you're actually a part of satanic cults and stuff and then believe in Satanism, if you look into it, there's certain days of the year and whatnot, like May 1st is the biggest holiday, believe it or not, for them, where they're supposed to sit there and rape a kid from, or a female that is either 7 to 17 years old, and then on top of that... Oh. I'm talking about what the main satanic movement goes by, but I mean, I've only read like over 40 different sources, but could be wrong, who knows. Life's fucked up that way. And of course, you gotta imagine, if they're gonna open up a satanic church, which they did finally have to where the government acknowledges them, they gotta sit there and kind of keep certain things hush-hush, or they're not gonna get approval. Just keep that in mind. I mean, how many Satans are there? Because in all actuality, it's Satan. If there is to be a Satan, there's over like 70 plus names for the same deity over the years. So, one of them being Kronos. Well, if you actually look into what the Jews believe, we are in the realm of Satan. We're on a sphere that is in a cube of space, and the material world is that of the realm of Satan. And it's funny because they're God's chosen people, so. Why would you say murky? They're the ones that got everything. They own all the major banks. I mean, they're doing something right.
I'm talking about as far as their actual theology goes. Like, most of the time when I've seen people trying to interview Jews about the specifics of their religion,
Well, it's because their religion is just in a way a scapegoat for them to be able to have a lot of days off for the year. I mean, they're Jews. They milk everything.
So you're saying that if Kronos is Satan, that means Zeus is the
Pretty much.
Sure, why not?
I mean, a lot of people don't realize pagans were actually worshipping Satan. A lot of them, the Wiccans, they're like, oh yeah, Wiccan, you know, being a Wiccan, it derived from pagans, but we're not evil, we're good, because I'm a green witch. No, you're still learning the teachings. Well, if you... I was gonna say, when it comes down to it, if you look into it, the reason why the crescent moon is symbolized so many times when it comes to the pictures and stuff pertaining to Satan, when they illustrate and display it, is because when it comes down to it, Satan is apparently supposed to be the not necessarily the moon, but the moon is supposed to pertain to him. That's why Wiccans, it's one of the most popular moon symbols, and the crescent moon with the star in it is supposed to be the fallen star, which is supposed to be a fallen angel, because in most beliefs before our time, stars were believed to be angels, and there is actually one star in the sky, which is supposed to be represented as, in a sense, Satan, that actually, when, hold on, I'm trying not to die here, but, have you seen the image to where that shows a crescent moon, then there's a star within what should be the shadow of the moon?
Yeah.
That's because there's actually a day of the year that happens, which, if there is something like that happening, if you see a star in front of the moon, that means there's a star closer to us than the moon, which they believe that's to be Satan as a fallen angel. You know, it's a star that's closer to Earth than all the others, a fallen star. But there's a lot of crazy shit when it goes to that. I mean, you go into it, you'd have to fucking research hours and hours to get to what little knowledge I know, let alone knowing fucking everything about it. I don't have enough time in my life to dedicate fucking that much into it, but I learned enough to realize that there's multiple different names out there that are just the same fucking entities. But I digress and I revert from there, because the two biggest topics to start fights and or disagreements and or turmoil is religion and politics. Because they're both bullshit!
For someone that claims to be non-religious, you sure do...
Why do you think I'm non-religious?
I don't know, you told me that before.
No. Well, I'm meaning, why do you think I'm not religious? Because I learned a lot of the modern day forms of belief and stuff are bullshit manipulation, and basically almost every religion is a form of worshipping Satan. So... Say what? I believe there's an evil entity. I'm just going by a term that you guys can acknowledge and or recognize. Because in all actuality, there's supposed to be more. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
That's fine. I mean, that's an interesting theology.
Well, it's only theology when people don't have the ability to try to open their minds to it. Theology is just a good way of dismissing stuff. But everybody's experience is different in life. You never know what you're gonna get if you're a retard. No. Turn the box around. It's got a diagram. No.
I never knew that.
I learned something new about myself. Forrest, she's been dead for 20 years. Fucking skeleton in a chair.
And then he'll go out to this was like, my dick has okay.
My dick has ears. My dick has ears. That's awesome. That's a Ron White reference.
Nice.
I was just thinking, I was going to say, just keep in mind, whenever I do talk about whatever, which to you guys is just crazy stuff, but whenever I do talk about things, keep in mind the stuff that I've researched in my life, I've gone into with an actual complete open mind. So it's not like I went in and I gotta find Jesus, oh, I gotta find the devil. No, I went in trying to find truth, which is very hard to find. Very fucking hard to find. because my goal that led me to all this stuff is, believe it or not, almost all sorts of things that you encounter in your life tie into each other. Historical events, deities, they all tie into each other at some point. Well, you've been promoted. You've been promoted, Lumpus. You have to sit there and take and commence the first peace treaty. Go see if they'll sign it.
Okay.
You're going to be our negotiator. Hey, didn't you learn anything from Obama? Go to a peace summit. I like on Rick and Morty because, yeah, that's working because we're really drowning in peace. Peace summits. It's just a good way to sit there and say, we're stealing your money and laughing at you. I can't wait for the day where they just admit we're a part of a microverse. Rick and Morty is made by Masons. Wouldn't doubt it. If you actually pay attention, each of their episodes have a face value, and then if you know certain things, they actually go into deep, they make references to all sorts of different things about our life that if you don't research it, you just wouldn't get. The microverse one was just an interesting little twist on things. Our government and throughout history, they've always made reference to us being captive within a dome. Yeah, I mean that's just a movie, but I mean in a sense you don't know whether or not someone's just trying to sit there and laugh at your face by using stuff they know to make a movie and make money off of it. But there's people like that out there. But there is a bunch of other ones where people take information about things that they think are cool and make a movie, and so there's nothing real about it. But I acknowledge a lot of this stuff. Thing though, which I learned a lot of this stuff from my Mason friend, which was a level 32 degree Mason.
Keep in mind that the human brain is hardwired to look for patterns and sequences.
No, it's not actually hardwired, we're programmed. Everything we're taught in school.
We are evolutionarily disposed to that kind.
Well, I'm gonna say.
Our ancestors survived.
Well, so we're told. School's not for smart people. So, just saying. Not saying you're dumb for if you had to do school, and I mean, you're getting money and stuff for it, which I guess is a good goal to get in life. If you want emptiness, but,
I decided pretty early on I wasn't going to college.
it's a waste of time and money. I went to school, I mean not school, I went to work in warehouses with people who had master's degrees. Because everywhere they went that they were supposed to be able to get a job, they were told they were overqualified and they couldn't afford to pay them. So, to me, there's no point, because if I go to school, I'm going to go all out.
Right. I mean, how often do you hear now about people like going to school for
PhDs?
4, 5, 6 years?
You never hear of anybody having a PhD anymore unless if they're a doctor.
Digging a hopelessly deep hole of student debt and not even being able to get a job in the field they worked in, the field they studied for.
All I need is 2 classes and I'll have an associate's degree.
Give it 5 years and that won't mean shit.
Well, I only owe like 19,000.
Only? You do realize 20,000 is what a poor person makes in an entire year?
Yeah. like, in comparison to like freaking those like freaking people that owe like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah, that's because they were stupid enough to keep going.
Well, it's because, I mean, all throughout your life, that's what you do. Oh, you gotta go to college.
Well, that's all school is. School isn't made to make us smart, it's made to make us think a certain way. And that's what I was trying to say about patterns. We are not necessarily made to recognize patterns, or we're not to where we recognize patterns in the manner in which you was saying. Yes, we may be able to, but the thing is it's whatever we apply our mind to and practice is how we become. We're very programmable. If anything, we are robots. I mean, we are so easily programmable, it's crazy. And it's made to make us easily manipulated. Tongue twister.
I was trying to say it very good, at this point, you're better off doing homeschooling your kids or signing them up for other extracurricular programs like.
You want to know how fucked up our system is? I went and did homeschooling for a year, and they ended up giving me to where, or they gave me the ability to go ahead to, was it like basically 2.5 years? I got to basically start halfway through my classes of the next year, or the third year, but it was pretty fucked up because they didn't even test me. I did nothing during the homeschooling. I just already knew it. So.
One of my friends, she's got a daughter, and she's been homeschooling her. She had her enrolled in public school for a while, but it's fucking crazy.
Most of them are literal prisons. Like here in Indiana, and the IPLs, which are the downtown Indy ones, they actually have to go through fucking metal detectors with security guards that are police officers and shit.
Yeah, no, my school had fucking barbed wire wrapped around the top of its fences, facing the board.
See? That's fucked up.
Keeping people out. Shit was literally for keeping the students in.
That's an early concentration camp right there. They got tons of those set up throughout the United States. I think what's going to happen this time is instead of Jews, it's going to be us Americans that are going to be fucking the ones that are going to go through what the Jews went through. You gotta imagine, all a country has to do to get away with something nowadays is just cut everybody off from internet that's in the country. You do that, you cut off the internet and the cell towers, they could do whatever they want and no one would be able to stop them until it's too late. Why do you think they're building the wall? I don't think it's to protect us. Oh, trust me, there's not a single thing our government does that doesn't have another purpose to it. That's because, keep in mind...
The wall wasn't the government's plan, the wall was Donald Trump's plan. You know, there were no plans for a wall.
Trump being in office was all part of the plan, man.
Okay.
Keep in mind, every president is a level 33-degree Mason. They're a part of an order, and when you're a part of the order, you follow the higher-ups. Otherwise, you end up getting disposed of. I know.
So if I was president, they'd come to me and be like, you
They tell you things you're supposed to do, and if you don't do them, like Kennedy, you get assassinated. So, Kennedy went against what they were trying to do, like, you know, wanting to see the federal gold reserves, which isn't there. They burnt that up years ago. But, I mean, there's all sorts of crazy shit. But no, I learned a lot of things I wasn't supposed to from my Mason friend, and I believe it might be part of why he went senile a few years after I had met him. But, I mean, like, you could tell he was all there, and then, like, literally it happened very fucking quick within the span of, like, a month. He just, like, lost it all, mentality-wise. This man would never forget where his wallet or money was, and suddenly he couldn't find where his money was. He couldn't pay his bills. I was like, what the fuck? But he also told me, when he told me a lot of stuff he did, that he wasn't really afraid of it anymore, afraid of the possibility of, you know, his life being ended, because he said he had lived a very full life. So, I feel like he expected something similar to happen. But no, like, if you ever, this is a good example of here, one of the Masonic buildings, because there's different factions of them. We got the Scottish Rite, and we have the Shriners, you know, the ones with the funny hats. They have two big buildings downtown, and he was a part of the Shriners. And when you go into their buildings, they have all sorts of symbology and things pertaining to the sky and the zodiacs and the stars and stuff. And during the tours that they give civilians every so many months, they tell you that they don't believe in any of that stuff, that none of it pertains to anything. And Bill let me know, he's like, everything has to do with the stars. And he says, you are the universe is you. He says, what happens up above happens below. So is above, so is below. I mean, and that was just a small example. I mean, that's nothing real huge. But, I mean, they'll lie to you about something like that. Don't think they won't lie to you about bigger things. So, like NASA, that was one of their proud babies. NASA stands for Never a Straight Answer. And if you didn't know, that's not... Well, if you think about it, anytime real answers are asked, or real questions are asked NASA, they never do give you a straight answer. It's because they don't want you knowing a lot of truths. Remember Hubble telescope images? Fucking how, for some reason, they would release them to us, but yet they black out certain spots for no reason. You try to ask them about it, they don't. They just fucking... I watched a vid where someone was trying to ask them about the censorship they did to the photos. And the person sat there and started to talk like he was going to answer the question and diverted it like a fucking professional. Next thing you know, they was on some other topic and he had the guy arguing about something else. It's like... The old Hubble telescope images and some of the new ones, I mean, they sit there and you'll have what should be a full, you know, image. If you're taking an image of something, it's not going to be... It's either going to be like, I guess you could say, either a round shape or a square shape, you know, an image. Well, they would have little parts of it squared and like giant pixels out of it. Galaxies. So what in the galaxy are they hiding? Planets with life? Aliens? Battleships? Who knows? Just an example. When it comes down to it, though, there's a lot that they lie to us about, and by being able to lie about the truths, it keeps people stupid. And that's what they want, because you can't manipulate smart people, you can only manipulate dumb people. And that's why most of our populace has been, in a sense, made dumb. Because if they would have actually had a true education system, that right there would bump up the percentage of people that would be smart. And if they would stop poisoning us left and right with things that don't seem poisonous until long term, a lot more people would have the ability to be smart. And therefore we wouldn't have so many dumb people voting for people like Trump. So... Our government's the one that has control over that, so they're the ones that set the standards of what we can and cannot learn. I learned that from my teacher. Well, my teacher and my principal both admitted that to me, because I asked them how come they won't teach us about Japan. I said we sat there and had a big all fallout with them. They're forced to learn about our history and we'll learn to force English, but yet we're not allowed to sit there and at my school they taught China, then they switched to Korea, and then that's it. They didn't mention Japan at all, except for its location. What are you talking about? My school forced me to learn Spanish, or tried to. I intentionally failed it. Yeah.
It's gonna be like trial by fire. You're going to learn this language.
But no, I could go on for hours about the things that are fucked up with our planet. The biggest thing that I hate about life is lies, because it's so easy to lie and people to believe it. And I've spent most of my life trying to just be truthful, and almost every person I've met can't help from lying. It's one of the most annoying things ever. I refuse to hide behind the mask that society has made us wear.
Well, that's something I can
Right? Yep. We got a little deep this episode. Sorry, everybody that may or may not watch this.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. I don't know how long we've been going at this.
Not very long, actually. It seems like it took a lot longer because we were focused on other things, but we're only running 36 minutes. We was like 55 last time when we almost stopped. No, we have been. That's why. Well, that's one thing. I actually do better when I don't think on this. It's sad enough to say. I've been on autopilot this whole time. Right. Oh, the other thing I was going to say real quick about NASA is keep in mind, if you did not know, the first Mason was King Solomon. He was the first one that built the first Masonic temple. And if you look into it, he was pretty heavy into the evil shit. And so when it comes down to it, Masonic temples, they don't learn this until they get past level 30. Was it? If I remember it, they said 32 to... no. Originally, they could start to get the hints that they're worshipping Satan instead of God. I think it was